everyone, and welcome to the Trash-Mex podcast. And this is our anniversary episode, right, Joey?
Yeah, this is 2 years, man. How crazy is that?
Damn. Thought it was like one, but
If
it feels like one, right?
It kind of does feel like one, but yeah,
like
this
one,
is
yeah.
to the point where I was like, wait, am I wrong when I said that on the last episode that this is going to be 2 years? I had to go back and check.
Yeah, it is 2 years, yeah. Because last year I was at this house. The other house was in Pomona. So,
Yeah, and down out in P-Town.
Yeah,
Shout out to Sugar Free. Back when it was in the living room and it was like 1,000 fucking degrees.
I know.
Talking about porno.
Oh, man, I know. And that's what's funny. I like that we started off with something funny like that. It wasn't anything like just basic. It was like, no, I'm going to do porn.
Well, you know, I do want to go back and revisit those movies too at some point down the line because
yeah, we
there's
will.
more
Yeah.
there's more movies to that
Yeah,
that
for
we
sure.
didn't get to talk
that's
about,
true.
but
Yeah, especially from that book that I showed you.
but it's been 2 years of I would say a success. I think people are into it.
Oh yeah, I catch on.
And you know, it's slowly but surely catching on.
That's how it goes. You know, you just have to build it up. You know, it's not
Yeah.
going to be like an overnight success like a lot of people think. You start a website, a podcast, or an Instagram page or a TikTok page. You're not going to get an overnight thing to make it go through. You have to work hard.
I mean, yeah, that's
You have to just keep putting content out little by little. You know, you can't just be like, all right, I'm going to post this video about Chronos. I'm going to become popular. No. You have to talk about more than just Chronos. You have to talk about the other stuff, other stuff that's related to it or whatever. You just have to build it up. And that's what we've been doing. We've been building up, We've been talking about all kinds of stuff. We talked about porn. We talked about corridos. We talked about slashers that people didn't even know about. That's crazy stuff like that.
That was so when the idea to create the podcast, like, I mean, I don't know if any, I mean, I'm sure people remember the story that I told of being in Texas when you and me were sitting in the back of the car, and I kept being like, "Come on, fool, like, let's get it in."
Yeah, that was the thing. Joey was the only one that was actually really more serious and wanting to do that, and I was like, all right. But then I was like, I don't want to do it by myself. Like, you know what? I'll Joey join me. Let's see if he wants to do it.
Because to me, the whole idea was like, this is some shit that I would want to learn. Now, this is what I would want to listen to. Selfishly, the idea was like, hey, maybe I get to see all these fucking movies that that I haven't been able to watch or I don't have copies of,
Yeah.
And expand my cinema knowledge.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's how you have to do it. You got to connect. That's how it goes.
And so, I mean, hopefully everyone's digging it. And the core idea too was not to just stick to the horror movies. I know everyone always reaches out to you about horror shit, but Mexico has such a vast range of movies, and we purposely choose everything, whether it's the melodramas, the comedies, the music shit, fucking, which is still, ironically, our biggest episode was the episode about Los Bukis.
That's a good episode.
Which if you haven't listened to that, go back. That was last December.
That's such a great episode.
It's a great episode. I loved it. Better than I even imagined it was going to be. So shout out to Jaime for joining us on that one too.
For real.
But we're at year 2, and we wanted to do something that may or may not be a little controversial for some people.
Oh yeah, it's probably gonna get some people angry, quote unquote.
People have been angry at your list in the past that you don't include certain things, or why is it not ranked high enough?
Or why is it ranked too high?
Exactly. Yeah. There's always, look, you're never gonna please anyone. People are always gonna have an opinion on something, and that's just the point. These are our opinion. You don't have to like it, or you can love it. Either way, it's what we've decided that we like.
What we liked and what I felt was better. That was, in other words, Joey picked his favorites. I picked what I thought was the best.
Yeah.
So our lists are a little bit different.
But you know what? As I was like compiling my list and shit, I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna fight it. I'm just gonna go ahead, because originally, like Armando said, I wanted to just be like, no, these are my favorite, because I didn't want the smoke. All right, I'll admit it. I didn't want the smoke. But you know what? Fuck that. This is the best according to us. The top 10 best Mexican horror films as selected by the Trash-Mex podcast.
And keep in mind, we're both horror fans, so this isn't just like random that we picked either. We actually like horror in general. So
yeah, I mean, spoiler alert, my number 1 is Chronos. I don't know if you know. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. This list does not include Chronos, so if that's what you're hoping for number 1, turn it off now.
I still have not seen it. Like, I've seen some of it, but then I never finished it.
Look, I know there's a lot of discourse surrounding the whole Guillermo del Toro shit, the fucking Iñárritu shit, the Cuarón shit, and it's like, listen, no one's saying that those movies aren't good. They're just not the best that the country has to offer. I mean, maybe they're the best if that's all you've seen, but the whole point of creating a list is to give people avenues to start exploring other directors, other actors, other types of horror, because not all horror is built the same way.
Exactly. And that's kind of the thing. You go to Mexican horror, let's say you Google it, it goes from the golden age, it skips from the 80s, and then it just goes straight into the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like, there was stuff in between, right? 70s and 80s, 90s, early 90s, I mean.
And much like cinema around the world, and then again, this is my opinion, the 70s, to me, globally, is the best era for cinema.
Yeah, globally, yeah, for sure.
And people will argue, and I'm sure people are going to have an opinion on that, but that's just what I think. As far as for what I like,
Yeah.
I think filmmakers of that time were taking risk, man, making weird movies, making strong movies, creating counterculture with in that time frame. I mean, even just American movies. I mean, the 70s in America for horror was like.
That's like a golden age.
It's the best, yeah. I mean, once the 80s hit, I mean, the shit kind of, fucking died out. And then we ended up getting the 90s bullshit and 2000s bullshit. And truly, 70s to me is the best era and the last good era. Like, I don't want to say good because there are good shit in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, yeah, we can't deny that there's other. But 70s is like, me and you, I noticed we like a lot of 70s stuff more.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
And that includes with Mexican films as well.
1,000%. I wrestled with my 1 and 2 spots because one of them is a 70s movie.
I was fighting that too, actually, but I just went with my gut.
Yeah, you got to go with your gut. Yeah, you can't overthink it. Just go with your gut.
Yeah,
your gut's not lying to you. So, I don't know. You wanna just start it off or what?
Yeah. So we're doing 5. So I got 5. Joey has 5. So I'll start off with my 5. Number 5 for me is. It's one that a lot of people are familiar with, and maybe they're going to be like, why did you pick that? But it's cool. Let me explain why. So number 5 is La Horriplante, Bestia, Humana, or Night of the Bloody Apes, as it's more well known. This is a Rene Cardona movie, and it's very bloody. Well, the American version is bloody, but he had his own bloody version too, which got trimmed. And yeah, it's pretty brutal. I mean, it's basic too. It's just like a mad scientist, his son is dying or whatever, and then he has the idea of like transplanting an ape part into his body, and it turns him into a monster. It's like an ape-like monster.
That's one thing about this movie that I fucking love is that traditionally, like the transplant horror movies, is always the brain.
Yeah.
But Mexico was like, nah, fuck that. We're going straight for the gorilla heart, baby.
Yeah, they're going for the gorilla heart, yeah. And yeah, it's pretty brutal in terms of like gore and like violence, but it also gets really like rapey too. Like the monster's like horny. It's like it's wanting to assault these women. So there's scenes in there where it's like ripping her clothes off and like assaulting her and touching her, and it's like, oh shit, like they're going fucking crazy here.
Yeah, I know this is
1969. Keep in mind, this is not even like the 70s. Yeah, this is 1969.
It to me, like when I rewatched it like 2 weeks ago, it reminds me of like the 60s era, like the Herschel Gordon Lewis era of shit, where it's like it's schlocky, but it's got good fucking like the bright red blood, the gore is fucking crazy in this movie. Like, I mean, there's no surprise that it was a video nasty,
Yeah, it became a video nasty because of the American version. The American version, they had like, I guess, extra gore scenes and like a real life heart transplant, something like that. Pretty weird stuff. And then in Mexico, like it just obviously the censorship, they just trimmed the shit out of it. They weren't even gonna like bother showing it until years later, like that. Even now, like you can't watch the Mexican version without the gore because it's cut. But those scenes do exist. There's no denying that. But when they first released it, they released it under Horror y Sexo, which I actually love better than, the Transplante and Bloody Apes.
Yeah,
Horror y
that
Sexo
title is
actually is
definitely
probably
yeah,
more,
yeah, yeah.
I even have like the advertisement. Matt, do you remember? I don't know if I posted it before. Remember, it's like Horror y Sexo and has like all the information of the movie.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'll post it on the Instagram, but yeah, it's pretty brutal and it has the blood and everything on it.
That's sick. Hell yeah.
It's gonna be in the Luchadores versus Everything book if I recall, because I did
sick.
scan
Hell
it. So
yeah.
hopefully it's on there. I think it made it on the book still. So check it out there.
Well, that's another part of it too, because it's like it has,
Has
female luchadores.
Yeah, it's
in
female
here.
luchadores,
Yeah.
and that's partly because it's a remake of the 1963 Cardona movie, which is Las Luchadoras versus El Médico Asesino.
1000%.
Essentially the same story, but it's a little bit more schlocky and more cheesy. This one is just, brutal. Very brutal, very sexual, and yeah, definitely not for kids.
It's wild that this is a movie from Mexico in 1969. Because to me at least, it's out of the ordinary as far as like how it feels Americanized, but it's obviously a Mexican movie.
Oh, very much. Yeah, Rene Cardona, he wrote it with his son, Rene Jr. And of course, the producers are Guillermo Calderon. Guillermo Calderon was like, we got to make this movie fucking crazy as much as we can.
That's one thing too. The Calderon family, like they're a very prestigious family as far as Mexican movies, but they weren't afraid like to
kind of go
to
over
push the
edge.
envelope.
Yeah, push the envelope, especially with like in the 50s. They were the ones that were like wanting to put nudity in their movies. Not even just for the sake of art, it's just because that's what people wanted to see. Especially men, they knew the audience, what they wanted, and that's exactly what they did with this one too. They want they want to see violence. They want to see sex. It's like, all right, we're gonna make a movie called literally Horror y Sexo.
Horror and sex, baby. What's better than that?
Exactly.
This is like a prototypical drive-in movie.
Yeah. And it was interesting because uncredited, one of the producers is Alfredo Salazar, which I didn't even know. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Makes more sense now why it's so wild and everything. One of the horror masters of Mexico is behind it too.
Yeah, that's one thing that you notice too. Like a lot of these movies, I mean, we say it constantly on the show, but it's like the people behind it, like the stars, the directors, the writers, producers, like these, they're not just hacks. Like these fools were all like super well known and super respected in filmmaking. So it's like, you don't typically get, you're not going to see a fucking Steven Spielberg come out with a movie like this type shit.
Yeah,
like
exactly. But no, they knew what they were doing too, and they did such a good job at it.
Yeah, well, that's Armando's 5.
Yeah, that's number 5 right there. So you guys gotta watch it. It's everywhere. You can watch it like on VIX. I think it's on VIX. YouTube.
YouTube does have the Spanish version.
Okay.
VCI put it out on Blu-ray, but that's the worst fucking way to watch it.
Yeah.
It's cropped to shit. It's not even in the right aspect ratio.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They included the intro title cards. They're completely like brand new, like just bullshit.
Yeah.
And just I don't know. English dubbing is just
I'm not used to that one on English. I always saw it in Spanish.
The Spanish version, is always better.
And then someone did like a fan edit too with the gore scenes in Spanish too.
See, that's probably the best way to watch it.
Hopefully one day we'll see like a complete version with the actual, footage intact and everything.
Yeah, in its proper aspect ratio.
Yeah, for real. We need that for sure. Hopefully somebody puts it on,
All right, well, I guess I'll move on to my number 5. And I had issues. I was deciding if I wanted to bump this to number 4 or keep it at number 5.
You picked a good one too. When you showed me yesterday, I was like, "Oh, cool! That's actually a good one."
I like this movie a lot. This is kind of like a childhood staple. I'm talking none other than Al Filo De Terror.
Me has hecho quedar en ridículo muchas veces. Esta noche fue la última.
Oh, no.
Sonrisas. No. Él me lo prometió. Él me lo prometió.
Which, how do you go about describing this fucking movie? So essentially, it stars Fernando Almada as El Griego, who's a ventriloquist. He has these clown dolls that he uses, and he was once a megastar, but his fame has just dwindled down, and he blames it on his dolls. Now, the weird thing about this movie is, to me, is like, it's hard to distinguish like the line of what's actually happening and what's like the his imagination and the child's imagination.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this movie work really well for me.
Yeah, because it's not like a killer doll movie per se. It's literally about a man going fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of comparisons to Joe Spinell for Fernando Almada in this movie, which I can kind of see.
why,
You know,
yeah.
he gets real sweaty,
real
and
sweaty, and
gross,
he's just always like angry.
But he's a complete piece of shit in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he talks so much shit to his own daughter, who's fascinated by his dolls. And this is where I'm saying the lines are blurred, because she speaks to the dolls and the dolls come to life.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if anyone else sees that. I mean, like, you know,
we don't really know if it's really happening or not. It could just be like her, you know,
imagination.
Her imagination, exactly. Yeah.
And yeah. So just so you know, we're probably gonna end up spoiling some of these movies. So if you don't want them spoiled, watch the movies first, right? Because I'm gonna spoil this movie a little bit. The you know, at some point, you know, as this fool is, he's just getting like he's going deeper and deeper into this like psychosis. You know, he's blaming his dolls that he's no longer funny anymore. So what does he do? He decides he's gonna change his daughter and put makeup on her and make her pretend to be a doll, which is fucking crazy. Like, this movie just completely I don't know. It just goes for it in a way that I feel like a lot of movies don't. Mm-hmm. And it's a 90s movie, no less, too. So, I mean, it's not like... was it... I don't know. Is this a video home?
A lot of people think it is, but no, it's not. No,
Shut-
it came out in theaters.
Okay.
There's a poster. I have lobby cards. So.
Because I could have swore on... Because I have a DVD of it, which is a bootleg, but I could have swore I saw, like, Q marks on it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, well, they definitely shot this on 35 millimeter.
Yeah, it's a 35 shot, yeah. And then it's released on theaters.
But I mean, it has an all-star cast. Fernando Almada, of course, who doesn't need any introduction on this show. Roberto Cañedo plays his uncle,
And
Lina Santos, who they have a weird relationship. He's like messing around with her, but she's like, I don't want to fuck with you because you're no longer like the top dog in the world anymore.
Julieta Rawson, and then Molly Baron is on it.
Yeah, Wally Barron. It plays like his manager or like a talent agent or some shit. It's all over the place. Directed by Alfredo Crevena, who, another, legendary name in Mexico.
Big time legend right there. That's like, one of the top guys right there from back in the day.
Yeah, well, absolutely. He's done everything. But it's just fucking wild. And it really plays into Mexico's weird obsession with midgets and clowns, or little people. Sorry, don't come at me.
Yeah.
Apologies, but yeah, little people and clowns, which I've never been able to pinpoint like why Mexico has such an affinity for clowns and little people, but they do. Even now, like even in Chicano culture, like clowns are a big thing.
Clowns are a big thing more than ever now. I think back in the day it was seen more as a scary thing. Now it's like everyone's like embracing.
But even that, because you had clowns like on like Cepillín was like a super popular clown on TV.
He was more lighthearted though.
Platanito was like he had his own talk show. Like imagine I don't even know who's the talk show host anymore.
I guess somebody from like the news or something.
Yeah, whatever. But imagine that fool being a clown, that's just fucking It's just crazy. But, this movie kind of also like lends itself into like the fantastique world, like I said. Like you don't really know what's real, what's not. I don't know. I fucking love this movie. I know some people probably won't like it because it's not a true horror, like you said. It's more of character driven than anything.
Yeah, like a psychological thriller.
Yeah. But to me, there's a scene that mirrors Maniac, the end of Maniac, where he gets chopped up by all the his girls that end up being just the fucking This fool gets fucked up by his clowns.
Yeah, and then that final scene with all the clowns, where they're throwing stuff around, and then they're like vomiting green stuff.
Oh yeah,
that was weird.
Yeah, that scene makes everything work.
And then that scene with Fernando when he slices the guy's throat.
I mean, it gets brutal, but like I said, I can entertain the argument that it's not a true horror movie. But what is a true horror movie these days? Those lines have been blurred a long time ago.
But that one is effective. Like I said, it'll get to you. If you really give it a chance, it'll get to you and be like, yeah, this is actually great.
Well, that's my number 5.
And now, let's see what we got. Number 4. My number 4 pick is Satanico Pandemonium.
Mira, cumplo lo prometido, María. Ya no eres una simple monja. Los habitantes del infierno no se fijan en sus imperfecciones. Ahí, entre el fuego, el aire y el agua, respiran su propia atmósfera para alcanzar el deleite de sus vidas. Ya eres la madre superiora, madre y guía espiritual de todas estas. Anda, diviértete y goza, te lo mereces. Pero antes, sal al balcón y saluda a tu pueblo, que quiere conocer a su nueva madre superiora.
Everyone knows that movie. It's pretty high up in there, but I still feel like it still hasn't reached more, I feel like it needs more of a big time, reach. Well, rather than what it's known for, because people just know it because it's because of From Dusk Till Dawn, That's how a lot of people I think knew about it too. It's because of the You know,
Salma
with
Hayek's character's name is Satanico Pandemonium.
But I feel like that movie has, this one is never like in those top horror lists, like for Mexico. It's like, it's so weird. It's like, it's so popular, but yet it doesn't make those lists. I always thought that was so strange.
It's, I mean, you know, the elephant in the room. It lives in the shadow of Alucarda, which people consider
that's another,
the
that's
number
another
one.
reason,
But
yeah.
to be honest, like, not to cut into your spiel on it, but I prefer Satanico Pandemonium over Alucarda.
Me too. Yeah, honestly, me too. And there's no hate on Alucarda because I actually really like Alucarda.
I love Alucarda.
Yeah, Alucarda was fucking great. But Satanic Pandemonium has like, I don't know. There's just more to it. A more richer story, I guess you could say. It's not just batshit shit going on. It's like, it's actually really fucking freaky. You know, we have this nun who's just getting tormented by the devil. You know, she's getting temptations. She starts being sexual. She tortures herself. She starts molesting a boy in it. It's fucking freaky. You know, it's weird. It's nasty. And then, it's bloody, you know, it gets really bloody at the end, practically, you know, when, you know, no spoiler alert, but, you know, she does end up getting, like, stabbed and shit, you know, by all the other nuns in there. Really fucking crazy. And then the stories that Adolfo told me behind the scenes were even more fascinating.
Oh, yeah. If you just to interject you there, if you haven't listened to our interview with the uncredited writer, Adolfo Martinez Solares, go back and listen to it. It's in Spanish, but if you understand Spanish, go back and listen. He tells, you know, great stories about this movie.
There's stuff that he left out, though, because there was parts, but when I first talked to him, he told me, he's like, so, you know, my dad met Barragan. He had this pitch for this movie. We thought it was a good story, so I told him, I'll write it. Just give my dad the directing duties. And he's like, okay. And then right just before they were about to film, Barragan, the producer, and then Gilberto, they got like an argument or something. So they were like, nah, I'm not going to work with them. So then they got this other guy, another director, Alberto Bojorquez, to direct. But then he too started fighting Barragan.
It's always the fucking producer, man.
So Barragan had no director, so he asked Adolfo, was like, Adolfo, can you get your dad back? He's like, okay, yeah, I'll ask my dad. Gilberto was like, yeah, I'll do it, fuck it, whatever.
Why not?
So, you know, and of course they film it, and then when they were filming it, you know, it was going okay, but then, you know, still, again, Barragan was being kind of weird and picky. He was just like, oh, maybe we should do this for this scene, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, Gilberto was telling him, like, I'm the director, I'm going to do what I want to do. Don't tell me what to do.
And how are you going to tell Gilberto Martinez Solares what to do on a movie? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, for real. And keep in mind, this is Gilberto Martinez Solares, legendary filmmaker from the Golden Age.
I mean, he's a top 3 director in Mexico's history. Like,
so he knew what he was doing. You know, he was trying to work, you know, trying to do his best here. And Barragan's just bullshitting, you know, because that was the thing. Barragan was kind of difficult. Like, he was just picky. He was bad with money. And then, of course, you know, he loved women. So, of course, that's why he brought in the hookers in the movie.
Hey, you know, it is what it is.
a lot of the hookers in the play nuns in the movie. And then Adolfo always brings that up every time you bring that movie up. He's like, oh, yeah, did you know the hookers, the nuns in the movie were hookers in real life?
Hey, they were seeking penance for their...
And then another drama was after the movie did good in the box office and everything, Barragan kept the money. They didn't want to pay Gilberto.
Of course.
Gilberto had to complain to... Who did he complain to again? He complained to Rodolfo Echeverria, who was the president, the president's brother at the time. Mm-hmm. He was the one that was in charge of the film industry. And he was like, all right, I'll help you out, Gilberto. So he got Barragan to pay him. Barragan got in a fight with Gilberto again. Just all kinds of crazy stuff like that, you know. It was always funny just to hear the behind the scenes of it all, which made it more fascinating to me.
But I guess the best part about that is that it didn't affect the actual movie because, I mean, this is a flawless movie.
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing. Overall, the movie still did great in the box office in Mexico. It had reached audiences in Europe, United States. Now it's a cult classic all over the world. Everybody knows it.
I like this movie because it differs from Alucarda, where this one feels more like it's an attack on people's personal relationship with religion instead of religion being the problem, you know?
And I feel like this is actually a true nunsploitation movie. Like, this movie does actually exploit nuns. Whereas Alucarda, I don't know, I never saw like it being too exploitive over nuns.
Not really.
Right? Like, it was more of like, you know, this story about a young girl meeting like a vampire or whatever. Whereas there's nuns, but they're not really being exploited, you know? They're just kind of there, you know?
Yeah, this one goes off the fucking rails too. Fucking pedophilia, fucking a little bit just of incest,
all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy.
And then
shit.
the main actress, the main actress Cecilia Possessed, she looks so innocent, so it's like crazy just seeing her right there in these situations.
Yeah.
And Enrique Rocha, he's such a great actor. He plays the devil so perfectly. Like, you actually fucking believe it too.
I mean, that's really what it takes for someone to to play the devil, like you got to believe in them first, you know. Like, and there's so many people that have played the devil in film, but not all of them have convinced you, like, hey, this motherfucker this is the real
he's
deal
a great
here.
actor.
Yeah.
And then, of course, remember, he's in Mujeres Infieles,
Oh, yeah.
which we talked about earlier.
Oh yeah, another fucking banger, dude.
Another devilish character, per se.
Go back and listen to that if you haven't
Yeah,
heard
for
that
real.
episode. Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be my number 4 pick.
And I guess that leaves me for number 4 because, and I had troubles, man. I didn't know if I wanted to flip flop these ones or not. But I ended up flip flopping all kinds of shit anyway. So surprise, surprise. My number 4 pick is no surprise. I've talked about this one. Not really, but in private, I've talked about this one. None other than Violador Infernal, the Infernal Rapist.
Carlos, tu religión te abandonó y por eso vengo a devolverte la vida. Pero con mis condiciones. Una, que renuncies a tu religión. 2, que me ofrezcas sacrificios y placeres. Y que siempre me adores así. Así siempre estaré contigo. Violarás a toda aquella o aquel que esté a tu alcance. Y tendrás riquezas y el placer de las drogas al alcance de tu mano. Recuerda que después de sacrificar a tus víctimas me las ofrecerás. Marcarás con los 3 seises, que es el signo de los seres destinados al dragón de las 7 cabezas. Si haces lo que yo te digo, serás un triunfador. Yo, el ser supremo de las tinieblas, te nombro mi hijo predilecto.
Sí. Acepto.
Cumplida está mi promesa. Ahora te toca a ti cumplir la tuya.
This movie is as sleazy as they fucking come.
That's like one word to describe it. It's just sleazy.
I mean, I don't know what other adjective to use for this
Yeah.
movie because it you know, as the title says,
it's a rags to riches story, but
it's-
very brutal one.
a rags to riches soul story, really. Violador Infernal, aka in English, the Infernal Rapist. Of course, directed by Damiana Costa Esparza. No surprise there. You know, someone who was used to making these kind of movies.
No, I have a question for you. Did you see his director cameo in the movie? He has
Is
a
he-
cameo. He's in the movie.
Is he in the jail cell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's,
Okay.
yeah. He's the priest. I thought that was so funny. I was like, oh, perfect. They put him as a priest.
I mean, you know, someone's got to have some kind of
Yeah.
dignity in this movie because this movie goes from 0 to 100 in probably the 2-minute mark of the movie. Of course, produced by Ulises Perez Aguirre, who, you know, is
He's
no stranger, you know,
Yeah.
as, you know, most people would know him from either this movie or the Intrépidos Punks movies.
But he's such an important figure for the Trash-Mex world. Like, he's always just mentioned somehow or some way.
He's always
He's
involved.
in something.
Yeah.
He's even, you know, part of Roy del Espacio, you know.
Of course, yeah. We don't have to hide that secret no more.
Yeah.
That's out. But of course, you know, it stars Noé Murayama as El Gato, who is a rapist. And, like I said, it starts from 0 to 100 in the 2-minute mark because he's being executed in the first scene of the movie, and the devil appears to him, and the devil, of course, is none other than Mexican royalty Ana Luisa Pelufo, who, remember that name because she's gonna show up again on my list. But she plays the devil, or as she's known in the movie, El Ser Supremo de las Tinieblas. Fucking banger name.
Such a great,
Such a great fucking
that
character
could be like
name.
a band name for all I know.
That would be, or at least a fucking like a record name or something, you know. But anyways, I digress. You know, she appears to this fool as he's executed and basically tells him, "Listen, I'm gonna give you your life back. You know, your religion has failed you. I'm gonna give you your life back. All you got to do is consume all the fucking drugs you want, kill fucking anyone you want, rape anyone you want, but you have to carve 666 on their body, and in turn, they will, you know, give power to the devil. You know, that's another soul for her. You know, Mortal Kombat style. Your soul is mine."
And she picked him too because she says something in the lines of like he's like the ultimate, you know, rapist.
Yeah, because he was a complete piece of shit.
Yeah,
you know,
he was like a really bad person. So she chose him out of who knows how many people.
Tons and tons and tons. But, you know, this, again, I guess just like my number 5 pick, this kind of blurs the line between being a horror movie and being an exploitation movie. And again, I will entertain both arguments because both of those labels are right,
sure.
you know?
Yeah, it can be both for sure.
But it deals with so much like anti-gay rhetoric, which, you know, it's still a thing in Mexico. You know, there's a lot of homophobia in Mexico, unfortunately.
But that's the first kill too. They like make it,
Yeah, and you know, of course, you know, is the actor in that scene was also in Intrépidos Punk. So there's a lot of connections, guys.
Yeah.
You know this. When you hear names, just assume that cast and crew are fucking, you know, taken from.
Yeah,
one
those
thing.
are the same people that worked under the Echo Films production company, which was Ulysses' company.
Exactly.
You know, so,
And of course, and that scene, of course, is famous for when you'd had the Trash-Mex festival at the Frida. Shout out to the Frida in Santa Ana.
Yeah.
Someone brought their like 10-year. Was it a 10-year-old girl? Maybe.
No, it was like they said like she was like 13. Maybe.
13. Okay,
Something
it doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, it doesn't make it. But it was just weird. It's like who brings a teenage daughter to see the infernal rapist?
Maybe he didn't know Spanish because you guys on the marquee it was labeled as Violador Infernal.
Yeah, we didn't want to.
We didn't want the word rapist on the fucking marquee.
Yeah.
But anyways, this dude shows up to this movie, and this is, like you said, this is the second scene of the movie. So you're like 5 minutes in. He fucking rapes this fucking guy.
It's actually that's probably the most brutal scene of the movie.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal for sure. Not gonna lie.
Drugs him. And then stabs the shit out of him, puts a knife up his ass, kills him, and then carves 666 on his ass cheek. And this guy's just watching this with his little teenage girl, like daughter.
Like I have my limits. I would not bring a kid to that.
That's crazy to me.
I'd bring my kid to like Trampa Infernal or something.
Oh,
but not bringing them to see something like this. You know?
Crazy. And he had to have not known. And maybe he's listening to this episode. If you are, let us know what you were thinking. That's crazy. But to me, this movie always will be ingrained in my mind for that because I mean the whole crowd was shocked, but to have a teenage girl,
we didn't have too many people at that screening, but it was just like I know people where they were like, oh shit, this is pretty different. I don't think a lot of people knew what they were expecting. You know, they were just like, oh okay, it's just a movie about a rapist killer, whatever. Maybe it's not brutal. Then they watch it,
fucking brutal, sleazy as shit. But again, I think, as problematic as this can be, and I'm sure someone is going to watch this and be like, yo, fuck this fool Joey. Why is he recommending this movie or have it on his top 5? But, there are merits to having these kind of movies. I mean, I know sexploitation movie they're not for everybody, But, the cast and crew behind this, incredible. Like I said, Ana Luisa Pelufo. I mean, she is such a revered actress in Mexico.
Sometimes, like even though she hardly appears in the movie, when she comes out, it's pretty obvious and she's great in it.
Yeah, and then she has these extravagant dresses. Yeah. Her dialogue is fucking insane. This is it's just great. If you want do you want to watch an offensive movie? This is one. Yeah. This is one to watch, and it's available. Vinegar Syndrome has it out on Blu-ray. So English friendly.
And just to touch base on the gay scene, I'm sure Noah kind of enjoyed it because I mean it's not a secret per se because a lot of people don't talk about it. But Noah was gay. He was not secretly, but people. It was just obvious. So I'm sure he was just like, okay, I'm gonna get into this. Then, because he was gay.
I mean,
and then I'm not gonna say who, but he actually did date somebody in the movie.
Hey, that's
in the production, not in the main cast, but in the production.
We keep those juicy secrets off the air, guys.
But just to make it clear, it's like I'm sure Noah was just fine with that. It's like okay, it's a gay scene.
Yeah, but I think in today's climate, and this is not to downplay, anti-gay rhetoric in movies and in everyday life, but there's gonna be someone that watches this and thinks this is abhorrent, this movie shouldn't exist, and I'm here to say, and not to defend any type of anti-gay rhetoric because I am, extreme, allied to the LGBTQ community. Live your life, I respect it. But I don't think censorship in any form. I mean, obviously, if you're, we don't want naked kids and shit in there. That fuck that. But to have these type of scenes in movies, I don't think. I just don't think there should be a limit to it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's other movies with rape, and those are seen as art films. Keep in mind.
Yeah,
this is no different.
Well, I mean, there's scenes with little kids that are naked in film that people would put on a top 100 all time.
Yeah, there's weird stuff on there, and it's like this movie's probably the tamest out of all those movies.
I think what it boils down to is people seeing something like this as distasteful.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's an argument that you can have with yourself. I don't want to have that argument.
But for me, like I said, it's the tamest out of all that, especially with the subject matter.
Yeah.
What's that one movie that everybody blows up all the time? What's it? The one with Gaspar? No, whatever his name is.
Well, which one? He has a ton.
The one that everyone always talks about. It came out on Blu-ray.
Irreversible?
Yeah, people fucking hype that movie, and that movie's fucking...
Well, we're sitting with the victim of the movie right now.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
we don't have to put it out on the airwaves, but, we know someone personally who was affected by that movie.
Yeah, that movie is fucking horrible, in other words.
I mean, it's sold out in like 2 minutes when Vinegar Syndrome put it out, so it's like...
keep in mind, that movie's like seen as this like great thing or something, but then when they see Violador Infernal, oh, no, that's so bad. It's like, no, Violador Infernal's just fucking campy. It just happens to be kind of brutal, but it's not bad like that, It's not in that same level, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think so personally.
But I know there's gonna be people that are gonna see it like that, but then they'll go watch that fucking movie, or fucking Requiem for a Dream, or Kids, nasty fucking movies like that.
But and funny enough, not funny enough. That's the wrong way to put it. But I don't see Kids as being an extremely problematic movie. I mean,
me personally, I see it as problematic. For obvious reasons, but I'm not gonna get into it. But you know what I mean. But when you compare that with Violador Infernal just can't be fun.
Yeah,
in the worst ways.
I guess I mean to say in the same way that I will defend the movie Kids' right to exist and that story to exist, is the same right I'm gonna give Violador Infernal the right to exist, and
But people will just judge this movie harshly.
1000% they will.
Which is weird. It's like, you need to see it just to see what we're talking about. It's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
It is brutal. It is fucking nasty.
Well, yeah, he rapes a bunch of women, rapes, a gay guy, kills them all.
But it's fun. It's still a fun movie, and the dialogue is just crazy. Noe Murayama, he's just into this movie. Like, that's the thing. It's probably his best movie.
He's great, man. I've come to love all his
I think
movies.
he really loved this role. Like, just the way he was acting, and he's just like laughing, then he's doing cocaine. Which I'm convinced was real cocaine.
I wouldn't doubt it, dude.
He just looked way too into it. Like the whole thing, I was like,
he's like shooting heroin and shit. I mean,
that part was fake. Yeah, the cocaine scene, when I watched it, I'm like, this looks fucking real. Like this motherfucker was probably doing coke on set for real in that little studio they have.
Well, that's my number 4. However controversial that may be, I'll leave that up to the listeners. But we'll move on to number 3s, I guess.
Alrighty, so my number 3 is, what is my number 3? Libro De Piedra from 1969. Another 69 movie. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
interesting.
¿No preferirías que Hugo estuviera en otra parte? Aquí nadie lo ve.
A Hugo le gusta este lugar.
Pero es muy triste. Ni siquiera hay flores.
Cuando yo las quiero, él las hace crecer.
¿Sabes? Me gustaría tener un amigo así.
Se lo diré.
Bueno, ahora vamos a la casa, que tu papá debe estar impaciente.
Adiós, Hugo.
¿De qué te ríes?
Hugo, conmigo. Dice que me trajeron un regalo.
Bueno, vamos a ver si es verdad.
And of course, this one is written by a really popular director now, more than ever, which is Carlos Enrique Taboada. He's considered one of like the horror pioneers of Mexico because he did Hasta, Viento, Tiene, Miedo, Más Tranquilo que la Noche, Poison for the Fairies. All those they're more popular than ever now. It's crazy. And I picked this one because this one actually freaked me out when I first watched it. Like with the statue and everything, the boy, he's holding the book, and I'm like, this kid looks fucking scary.
Yeah, he is kind of a creepy
yeah,
kid.
And then you don't even see him come to life until later on in the movie. But during the whole ordeal of the movie, we focus on the little girl. She's talking about him. His name's Hugo. She's like, Hugo this, Hugo that, and everyone around her is just kind of like, oh, she's just imagining this shit. But then weird shit happens at night, and then those scenes at night are pretty freaky. You're just like, oh, this is uncomfortable, especially when you're watching it in the dark. You're just like, oh man, what's going to happen next?
Well, that's one thing that I think Carlos Enrique Taboada was a master at, is setting a tone for a movie and letting that really ride throughout an entire movie with all of his movies, especially his more popular ones. They all have that sense of kind of dread and, like you said, the darkness. What you can't see is what's scarier than what you are seeing.
Yeah, exactly. It's really fucking scary.
This was the only movie out of the 10 movies on this list that I had not seen. I thought I had seen this, but when I rewatched it the other day, I was like, I don't remember any of this stuff. So I'm convinced that I hadn't seen this movie yet.
Yeah. I discovered it after I saw Hasta, Viento, Tiene, Miedo, and I was like, well, what else did this director make? I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. So I watched it, and I was like, oh, this is fucking scary. I was genuinely freaked out. And I watched this probably I don't know, is it 2009, maybe 2010, something like that. I was 19, 20 years old, so I was still freaked out. Like, oh, shit.
Was it on DVD at that point?
It was on a bootleg DVD. Yeah, it was a $99 bin DVD.
Yeah.
So that's how I got it. And ever since then, it's become kind of a cult classic on its own, but I know it has a rights issue going on.
Is that why it was not included in the box set?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on with that. There's just always something going with that one specifically. And the Tubi version is just a VHS rip.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's illegally uploaded
of
on
course.
there. But, it's there. So if you want to watch it, get it on there. And, watch it at night. Don't watch it, during the day. Watch it at night. Turn the lights off. Cover your curtains, your windows. And, you're going to be in for a fucking freaky movie.
And it stars, of course, a Trash-Mex favorite, Joaquin Cordero, who has never had a bad role.
Yeah. You got Joaquin Cordero. You got Aldo Monti.
Yeah.
Who's played Dracula in the Santo movies. We got Marja Lopez, Norma Lazareno. And then the little girl is Lucy Boo, who she was really wanting to be an actress when she was a child. She was taking her acting career pretty serious. But then I read an article not too long ago. She actually just stopped because she said a certain director, she never said who, but I guess was trying to sexually harass her, trying to do some weird shit, and that freaked her out and her mom out. And they were like, "Yeah, no, you're not gonna do this anymore." So that's why she kind of stepped out of the limelight, and then you really never heard from her again after that.
What
is unfortunate.
Shame.
I know, because she was a really good actress in the movie.
Especially for being a child actress. I mean, she's phenomenal in this role. Yeah,
and then I think before that she was in Maria Isabel, the original movie. Before it became this well-known novella. So she was, she was getting there, but then unfortunately, like she said, something really bad happened. Well, nothing bad happened to her, but something was going to. It was getting really serious, so she had to leave.
What a fucking shame, dude. You gotta be a fucking scumbag to do some shit like that, dude.
For real. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that, But yeah, she gave an interview recently.
I hope it's not someone that we fucking love and revere, man.
I don't think it was. I think she said it was just someone, that she was going to work for the first time. I think
someone that just tried to take advantage.
I think that was, the wording she was giving was someone kind of new, I guess, at the time. But who knows? I don't know.
Fucking piece of shit, dude.
Yeah. So that was my number 3 pick, Libro De Piedra. And again, Tubi. It's on there with English subtitles. Bad copy, but, I mean, it's the best you're going to do for
now. People can't complain, dude. People watch shitty VHS movies all the fucking time, dude. Exactly. I don't want to hear that you can't watch it on Tubi because it's, that argument is dumb. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, it's English subtitles too, so I'll say no excuses.
There you go. That's what's more important. People can actually fucking watch it and know what's going on. Granted that hopefully the subtitles are right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that leads to my number 3, and I'm choosing Cementerio De Terror.
Toma, mientras te mantengas esta cruz. No se atreverán a acercarse.
¡Todos juntos! 1, 2, 3. ¡Ya casi!
¡Ya está libre, señor! ¡Ya está libre!
No está libre mientras no destruya a Devlin con el libro negro.
¿De qué libro habla?
El libro negro es la única manera de destruir a Devlin.
¡Atrás! ¡Váyase!
¡Ese libro está en la casa abandonada! ¡Yo lo vi!
¿En la casa abandonada? ¡Búsquenlo! ¡Quémenlo! ¡Corran! ¡Quémenlo! ¡No, llévatelo tú! ¡Llévatela! ¡Atrás! ¡Seres del demonio! ¡Regresen a los infiernos!
80s classic, baby.
That is childhood staple right there for me.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the most popular Mexican horror movies on this side. You know, that's not the Kronos and all that shit. You know, this is 1985, written directed by Ruben Galindo Jr. Stars Hugo Stiglitz.
Big time cast right there.
Huge cast. Rene Cardona 3 is in it. Erica Buenfil is in it. Edna Bolkin, Raul Meraz, like fucking bangers. You know.
And then Andres Garcia Jr. is in it. And then little kids were Maria Rebecca, and then Uzi Velasco, and Eduardo Capetillo when they were little.
I fucking love this movie. Yeah. I mean, this is like, to me, this is probably the best 80s slasher
Halloween themed
homage that a Mexican horror has done to an American slasher. You know, because like you said, it takes place on Halloween, and it's funny, or it's like two different stories, because you have the adult versions, like these college kids, and then you have these little kids. And it's on Halloween night, and they're both living two different perspectives, but they somehow end up in the same place. These kids, it's Halloween night, so they naturally, like kids do, they want to do something crazy, so they decide they want to go to the cemetery. These college fools, they trick their girls into thinking they're going to a Halloween party, but instead they're taking them to this fucking haunted.
They lie big time. They're like, yeah, celebrities are gonna be there, all kinds of shit like that. And then they go and it's like nothing like that at all.
Nothing. It's just this decrepit fucking house that's sitting outside of the fucking cemetery. That's all hell breaks loose. But there's fucking zombie revivals. There's fucking, there's like a Book of the Dead. What was it? The Book of Devlin?
Devlin, yeah.
Shout out to the Book of Iban, Iban, however you want to call it. But I just think, especially at this time, because you think of the American slashers, they pretty much lamed out around 1983, 1984. Post 83, 84, slashers were, I don't care what anyone says, they fucking suck. There's a couple diamond in the roughs in there, some gems. But for the most part, mid 80s to beyond, slashers were fucking garbage, There were a dime a dozen, no real stories, terrible acting, shitty directing sometimes, it's just, it was all bad. So in 1985, when Mexico puts this out, I mean, this rivals, the Friday the 13th at the time, like it kind of resembles, like the body comes to life in the cemetery from the fucking.
Also like Michael Myers too. Like the killer reminded me of Michael Myers a lot too. Devlin.
But he looks like fucking George Eastman in Anthropophagus.
There we go. That was what I remember you pointed out a while back. Yeah.
Which I love, Anthropophagus is a Eurosleeves classic. But so if you haven't seen Cementerio De Terror, but you're a fan of Anthropophagus, I think you'll like this. It's not like, I mean, it is really fucking gory, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And I guess the makeup effects were done by Ken Diaz, who was like a renowned makeup. Worked on My Bloody Valentine, worked on The Thing, Fright Night. Worked on Heat. I know that's
Yeah.
everyone's favorite LA movie all of a sudden.
For a first movie, that's pretty good. See, Ruben Galindo Jr. was like, all right, this is my first movie. Got to do a good job.
Yeah.
And his dad was like,
his dad was one of the producers.
Yeah,
so.
his dad was like really pushing him to make a movie. He's like, all right, you're gonna make a movie now. He's like, all right.
He's fresh out of UCLA Film School, which I guess he did at the same time with Rene Cardona III, right?
Yeah,
They both went to UCLA.
yeah.
And so his dad's basically like, yo, come direct this fucking movie. And he's like, all right, I guess I will. So, how many people can say that their first movie is an 80s slasher classic that rivals the best of American slashers,
And features zombies, which were an inspiration by Thriller, the Michael Jackson movie.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be like that too.
There's a lot of, I don't know if I would assume that it's by design, but there's a lot of references to other movies. Like there's a shot when they're first arriving to this fucking decrepit house that's reminiscent to the shot in Texas Chainsaw when they're panning in through underneath.
And does remind me of that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I would assume that it's a direct homage to that.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is very like string heavy, so it reminded me of like the
And
Friday the 13th
all of it's
soundtrack.
old George music too, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's like Omen ripoff songs in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're a library head, you'll find those cues out there. You gotta dig from, but they're out there.
Yeah, they're in there.
But yeah, man, I fucking love this movie. If you haven't seen it and you love slashers, you've got to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people who have seen it will be like, yeah, fuck yeah. Top 3 movie? Yeah, I'm down with that. That's a great one.
I was lucky enough to go there too, to the house.
Yeah, shout out to Brownsville, right?
Yeah, so just to kind of talk about the house. So it's actually called the Celia Krager House. And it used to be a mortuary for a long time too. And then now it's a medical office.
Nice.
Looks the same too. The yellow, color and everything. Still spooky. People always make up legends about the house from what I heard from the locals. And not even like 10 minutes away is the real life cemetery.
Sick.
Old House Cemetery. The Old Town Cemetery, that's what it's called.
But if I'm not mistaken, they shot this on the ranch, though, right?
Yeah, so they shot the cemetery scenes at the ranch, but the gates, remember when?
Like the
gates?
facades and stuff.
Yeah,
is
that's the
all
Old
real.
Town
Yeah,
Cemetery,
yeah.
which is not far from the house. It's crazy. It's like, oh shit, this is like literally less than 10 minutes away on the walk.
And that's why all those movies that were shot in Brownsville, like they were so efficient because they were shooting on their own lot, basically, right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
but that's awesome. And then
fucking banger.
Yeah, and then like at the end of the movie, they mentioned the street name, which is what is the street name? Washington. They're like, oh, I don't know if you hear like on the radio, you'll hear it. Oh, Washington Street. I was like, oh, that's the street. That's literally where the house is, on Washington.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Brownsville.
But yeah, that's a great one.
Well, that's my number 3. So we're winding down to our number 2s.
Oh shit, we're at number 2 now. Damn. So my number 2 is another Taboada movie. Hasta el Viento, Tiene, Miedo.
Banger.
Again, Carlos Enrique Taboada. This is his first horror feature.
Compañera que he tenido. Todavía no puedo creer que No lo digas. Es horrible.
¿Pero por qué se empeñó en ir a la torre? Sabía que ella estaba allí.
¿Pero por qué hacerle eso a Claudia? No le había hecho ningún daño. ¿Qué ganaba Andrea? Uno nunca sabe lo que quieren los muertos. Yo mañana me voy de aquí. Me muero de angustia.
Sí, esta casa está maldita. Hay algo que nos rodea, que nos amenaza.
Y ese viento no ha dejado de silbar un solo instante. Nunca lo había oído así.
Esta noche, hasta el viento tiene miedo.
And this one is kind of the same as Libro De Piedra. Like, it's pretty, like, scary in terms of the nighttime scenes, you know. And this one, of course, you know, you have a ghost in it. So she's talking to the girl. She's like, Claudia, Claudia. And the way she says it is so scary. So when I first saw it, I was just like, this is interesting and it's scary. And, like, these characters are just so colorful and they're so real, you know. Like, that's the thing I liked about the movie, too. It's just everyone in this movie feels so real. Like, these are real life teenagers here. We have these, these teachers that are just like mean to the, to the kids and everything. And these kids are supposed to be away for a summer vacation, but then they end up stuck at the school. And this freaky shit is happening. There's wind for some reason in the summertime.
Hey, man.
Like, all kinds of crazy shit is going on in this movie, and it's great. It's like really spooky and everything. It's, in terms of horror, and like this is actually terrifying, to watch.
A super atmospheric movie.
And very atmospheric, and like the music is pretty good, and yeah, just everything about it is so good. Like, damn, this movie deserves more light to it, than it gets,
Did you watch this one before? Was this your first Taboada
That was my
discovery?
first Taboada, yeah, because I got that on DVD too. It was at the 99-cent store in Pomona.
Shout out to P-Town, yo, sugar free.
Yeah, it was there, and I was like, oh, I think I've heard of this. This is like when I was still getting into the movies and stuff, and I was like, oh, I think I've heard of this one. Let me get this. It's only like $1, and yeah, it's like, oh shit, this is fucking great. It's like, this is really good shit right here. And from there, that's when I learned about Taboada. I was like, this guy's actually fucking great. I need to see more of his stuff, So that's what caught me to Libro De Piedra and the rest of his filmography from there. So if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It's great. This is like the perfect summer vacation movie or going back to school kind of movie, around that time, even Halloween if you want. But it's great, It's on Blu-ray. It's from VCI, which I'm not a fan of because it's pretty bare bone, and then it's a DVD-R. I mean, BDR. So, God, yeah. I was not a fan of it. It doesn't even play on my Blu-ray player anymore. On this one,
really?
On this one, at least.
It would play on disc.
It would play on my old one, but not on this one. So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to rip it or something and put it on my computer. Yeah.
I know. When I couldn't find the fucking Blu-ray anywhere for some reason, so I have the VCI DVD of it. I'm like,
yeah, I think now they only.
But
sell
I'm like,
the DVD.
whatever.
Yeah, now they only sell the DVD, which I thought was weird too. It's like not even on Blu-ray anymore.
Because people probably complained that it was a fucking BDR. Like, get this shit out of here. Like, how you gonna put such a masterpiece on a fucking piece of shit like this?
I was like, but it's there, and it's on Tubi as well, so you can watch it on Tubi if you want.
Yeah,
as well.
1000%. Yeah,
but yeah, if you like, the other ones, you still haven't seen this one, you have to watch it. Or if you want to get into Taboada, I would definitely start off with this one first.
I think either this one or Veneno para las Hadas are like the first, like the entry points for Taboada.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
because you get a sense of like we were saying when you were talking about Libro De Piedra, is like you get a sense of how he structures the movie. The way he builds the tension, the way he it designs the movies. Like it's where it's more atmospheric.
Yeah,
you really get a sense of that in this movie. So yeah, I would agree. This is definitely like a good entry point,
and just everything too. Like even when they're wearing their their school outfits, it's so colorful and just so eye catching. You're just like, this is like art,
Yeah.
Everything from the costumes, the settings, and everything. It's very artistic and it's beautiful. It's like, damn, this is something you'll never see again. Can't be replicated. They did a remake in 2007, 2008. I don't remember.
It was definitely mid 2000s. Yeah,
some bullshit. Yeah, it's just some bullshit. I remember I couldn't even finish it. I was just like, no, this is terrible.
Funny enough, I've actually seen people put that on their list of and maybe they mistakenly put the remake version and not the fucking. But I've seen it.
It was their AI generated thing, probably.
Yeah,
but yeah, that movie sucks. Like the remake, don't even bother. And I say that with a lot of strength. It's like, please don't watch it. No,
you should see him right now. He's sweating. He's like, fuck this fucking. He's got a fist in the air.
Don't watch that shit, please. Watch the original one, please.
Always watch the original, man. Always.
Yeah, cool. 1968 right here, man.
Well, my number 2, and again, I was going back and forth on flip flopping this with being number 1 or being number 2, but this is going to be my number 2. Another 1979 movie that stars Ana Luisa Pelufo, one of Mexico's goddesses of cinema. I'm talking about Una Rata En La Oscuridad.
That's a good one, yeah.
¿Por fin decidiste asolearte?
Algo te preocupa, hermana. Te conozco. ¿Qué es?
Es difícil decirlo.
Dilo.
Con toda sinceridad, Josefina, ¿no percibes nada extraño en esta casa?
Es eso. Sigues pensando en la famosa mano que te tocó.
Y tú sigues sin creerme, ¿verdad?
Lo que creo es que sufriste una alucinación provocada por el efecto de la luz de las velas.
No sé qué pensar. Hay algo extraño en el aire, en las paredes. Algo condenadamente extraño en esta casa.
He pensado que si adelanto unas clases de literatura en el instituto, a lo mejor me pagan el próximo lunes. Si es así, te prometo arreglar inmediatamente lo de la luz.
¿Y crees que con eso vas a solucionar todo?
A fucking banger, dude.
Oh yeah, I have the poster too.
Yeah, I remember you have the poster
I
for
have a
sure.
poster, yeah. I was gonna put it up, but I forgot.
Yeah, you should have put it.
I
up,
know,
though.
I should've.
Yeah, we'll post it on the page.
Yeah, we'll post it. Yeah, for sure.
So this is written, directed by Alfredo Salazar, who is the brother to one of Mexico's most well-known actors, Abel Salazar. But this movie is like it features two sisters who buy a house for super cheap, and they're like, "Wow, how the fuck did we get this house for so damn cheap?" Well, it turns out that something's fucked up in this house, and they can't figure it out if it's a ghost, if it's a real person, or maybe it's just a fucking rat that's running around the house. You know, who knows? But I will spoil this a little bit, so if you want to watch this before I spoil it, pause it and watch it. But again, stars Ana Luisa Pelufo and Anais de Melo, two sisters. This is just such a strange, eerie movie that I think closely resembles a Euro horror movie.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Yeah, it does feel very European to it.
Super European, yeah. Like I said, they basically buy this house. It's kind of like this gothic looking house. Shit starts happening. The younger sister swears she has these powers to tell the future. Like she was able to know when her parents were gonna die and all that shit. And then you have Josefina, who's just more the older sister, who's more grounded, and basically it seems like the dynamic is that she's taking care of the younger sister. Mm-hmm. It has taken on the mom role, as you would say, but yeah, it's just wild, man. There's like supernatural shit going on. There's a rat that keeps,
the rat always pops up in the
movie. But the younger sister always is going through some shit, like she sees this painting in the house and she's like, why does that face look so fucking familiar? She thinks
weird ass painting.
And
just fucking weird.
And she thinks that it resembles the realtor that they bought it from. But she's not sure, And funny enough, she has these fucking magical powers, but she can't figure out who this person in the painting is, But once they discover that, then there's this looming presence of what looks like a female. We're not sure what's going on, but this presence starts looming the house, is following them throughout the house, watching them through the windows, sexually abusing the younger sister while she's sleeping. It's fucking wild, man. There's like a dream sequence, towards the end of the movie with Ana Luisa Pelufo, where the sister has gotten hurt, so the sister has been taken away, so she's staying in the house by herself, and she's dreaming, and this presence, this woman that's looming the house, just starts like grabbing on her tits and kissing her, and
really raunchy too.
Yeah,
it gets pretty graphic, I think.
And she's loving it. To me, it's like that scene was like her finally having the freedom to just be a woman. It's like the whole time the parents die, so she has to take care of her sister, but now she's able to live out free. And there's probably some guilt built in there, which is why she was loving it so much when she was being touched and everything. But because like playing, there's like this like operatic rock song that's playing throughout. Like,
oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's fucking amazing. Even the intro theme to this to the movie feels more like it's like a fucking 70s like a Euro cult like Polizio-tesque fucking soundtrack, you know, Goblin-esque if you will. But
yeah.
But I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah.
It deals in sexuality. It's a perverse movie. You know, this is where I'm going to spoil it. So if you want to watch this movie without having the spoiler, which I recommend, you know, pause it now and watch the movie. But at the end of the movie, you know, the sisters, they bounce. They can't take it anymore. And a new family comes in, and it's the same realtor. And it turns out that it wasn't a woman. It was a man dressed as a woman. And now he has plans to do the same thing to this woman and her young daughter. And I think that's where the perverse part, like the even more perverted part of this movie is that now the same thing that happened to these, you know, two older women is going to happen to this young girl who's probably 10, maybe 11.
So you're just
like a preteen.
Yeah.
And it's gonna start happening to her, but we don't ever see the guy's face, like really. You know, you see his body. Obviously, he's naked at the end of the movie, so you'll see his dick, you know, full frontal. So shout out to, you know, equal rights for women and men being naked in movies. But we don't ever learn why this person is doing it. What's the objective here? Like, is it just something that gets this person off of you know, tormenting people and sexually abusing people? We don't know. It's kind of like Black Christmas where the end happens and you're just like, wait, what? Like,
and then the supernatural stuff, you don't even know what that was about.
Yeah, was it real? Like,
what was it? Imagination?
There's like earthquakes and fucking lightning and all kinds of shit. Like, you know, what is going on here? But
could be like a warlock, maybe a perverted warlock.
A perverted warlock. Yeah, I like that.
Something
actually.
Like that. That's kind of how I saw it. At least maybe it's some kind of warlock or something, you know, I don't know, but it was really weird and vague, but that's what I liked about it, you know, leaves you wanting more, leaves you with questions, kind of interpret it yourself like that from there. That's the fun part of it all.
The ending is really really fucking gross, because like I said, you know, not to beat a dead horse and say it again, but it's just to imagine what he's gonna do to this young girl. It's just and then it just ends. Like, that's the cliffhanger. So now it's up to you to decide, is he actually gonna do the same thing to this little girl? Like, I don't fucking know. But I think this movie is fucking amazing. It's great. Criminally underrated, criminally underseen.
For real.
I can see someone like Mondo Macabro putting out a restoration of this. Like, I feel like this would fit their line perfectly.
Sick,
Eurocentric as fuck. So if you're into Euro movies, you'll fucking love this.
Yeah, it's great. I think there's like a DVD that sells for cheap too online, so you can even just
get it.
DVD,
just fucking get it. You know. There's copies of this on OK-Ru. You know, shout out to the Russians in that sense. You know, but if you
find it,
just find this fucking movie and watch it. You won't regret it. I fucking love this movie, and I cannot recommend it enough.
Yeah, that's a banger. That's a good choice. That's why when I saw your list, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I originally had something different, and I'm not gonna say what I had as slotted in my number 2.
I was like, all right.
But it got slotted out of the top 5 altogether. So, Una Rata En La Oscuridad, ultra banger,
Perfect.
which leads to now the finale here. Both of our number 1 top Mexican horror movies of all time. What you got, Armando?
Well, it was very hard for me to pick. I was like, what am I going to pick for number 1? This was last year, by the way.
Which you got a lot of shit for that list last year, didn't you?
Yeah, people were like weird about it. So then I was just thinking, I was like, damn, what am I going to put? Am I going to have to put Kronos?
Frankenstein 2025.
Am I going to put Frankenstein? Am I going to put, what was that one that we were talking about? We're in the Shadows or what?
What is it? We Are the Flesh or Flesh, whatever the fuck.
I have to pick that. Am I gonna pick I don't know, fucking Supernatural? I don't know.
Hispanic Panic, or what was it? Satanic Hispanic.
Am I gonna have to pick something like that? I was like, no, fuck no. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick something that I think has now grown into this big thing now, which is funny enough because I remember this movie always having like a little bit of a fan base, not too much though, but it's grown over the years, and I think now more than ever. And people always have good memories of it. They're like, oh, I remember when I saw it in the theater, it was scary. It kind of reminded me of how people felt with Nightmare on Elm Street. When that movie came out, people were like freaked out. They were like, oh, this movie's crazy. This movie's fun.
I still love fucking Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Not to derail you.
Yeah, no, but yeah, that's a great one. So that's kind of what it reminded me of, when I picked this one. I was like, yeah, this movie kind of has that vibe to it. It's like when it first came out, people were scared of it. People were like freaked out by it or like just excited over it because it was fun. And my pick is Vacaciones De Terror from 1989.
Nice.
Yo creo que con esto es suficiente, ¿no?
Mamá, ya va a estar la comida porque mi muñeca tiene hambre.
Ay, mi amor, deja esa horrible muñeca en paz. Teniendo juguetes tan bonitos. A ver, dame acá. Gaby.
Directed by none other than Rene Cardona III. And he started with this movie, because he was doing comedies before, but he was like, he was just tired of it, He wanted to do the stuff that his grandfather was doing, his dad was doing, which was horror stuff, and he was a horror fan himself, And then after doing Cementerio De Terror, he was like, I can make a movie too,
Yeah.
So yeah, he got, him and Santiago Galindo teamed up. They wrote the movie, and then Carlos Valdemar wrote the script. And the Galindos are behind it, so you got Santiago behind it, Pedro Galindo III, Eduardo Galindo. So you already know they're gonna make a fucking banger here.
Style.
The cinematography by Luis Medina. He made a lot of the movies with the Galindos back in the day. So, he was teaming up with a bunch of good people. He was lining up like, an ensemble, right here. The people that were talented. Because he wanted to make a horror movie, a good horror movie.
And
not just a cheesy horror movie. He wanted to make actually a good horror movie. And yeah, so this one, if you haven't seen it, it's, pretty basic. It's just about, a family. They stay in this vacation home that they inherit. And of course, some weird shit happens in there.
You can't inherit a fucking a house and a movie and it not be haunted. That's just
and it turns out there's like a witch-possessed doll that's behind all this. So, the doll's in the possession of the little girl in the movie. The little girl starts, acting out. She starts possessing everyone else, and her brothers start helping her with the stuff too. It's a pretty crazy movie, and the doll, of course, is like iconic now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people like compare it to Annabelle, which is a funny comparison because Annabelle's,
Annabelle sucks.
Annabelle's weird.
I try to go back and watch all of the Annabelle.
Yeah,
that whole universe.
I never understood the appeal of Annabelle.
I couldn't do it, dude. I got to like part 3 or 4, and I was
like,
out.
this witch doll. This witch doll doesn't have to do much. She just moves her eyes. Makes that little noise. Some weird shit happens. She fucking messes with the mom's. Remember she's pregnant. The mom in the movie.
Yep.
So she messes with the fetus in there. It's fucking freaky too. And then she messes with the refrigerator. There's like rats and worms.
Yeah,
and
that's just kind of gross. Yeah,
just kind of crazy shit like that. And then remember, the witch doll controls the cars, the toy cars, and it's affecting the dad drive.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just all kinds of crazy shit. So that's the thing. It's just so like out of the line of craziness. There's just wackiness to it too. And it's scary too. Like I said, the doll is just freaky when you look at it at first. For the first time, you're just like, oh, this is fucking weird.
That's really all it takes is to have, especially if the doll is going to be like a central part of the movie. The doll has to be effective.
Yeah.
Think of all the horror movies you've seen. The good ones are because the doll works.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking great. And of course, it has an ensemble. Big time cast. Got Pedro Fernandez,
of course.
Got Julio Alemán. Got Gabriela Hassel, her little sister, Gianella Hasselkus, Nuria Bages, Carlos Cis, and Ernesto Cis, the twins.
The twins,
Yep.
plus their dad, Carlos.
Oh yeah,
Cis
their dad
Sr.
comes out in the beginning. And yeah, and then Roberto Schlosser, the director,
yeah.
he's actually in the movie too as a doctor. It's like the most random like scene. You're just like, is that Schlosser? Like, what the fuck? When I first saw that, I was like, what the fuck is he doing here? And yeah, so it's just a great movie overall. Like, it's a cult classic. People fucking love this movie, and more than ever now. And it's unfortunate that Rene the Third isn't here with us to see it, because
rest in peace, man.
before, the Blu-ray and all that, he was like excited. He was just like, the movie's gonna come out. He's gonna finally be able to like present it to a higher extent, rather than just himself. And yeah, if he was alive, he would have been fucking stoked. He would have been like, Armando, this is the fucking greatest horror movie ever. I agree with you. That's how I like to think. I mean, I only had contact with him for a short time, but I feel like if he saw me putting this list out and he saw it, he would have been like, "That's true, it is," because that's just how he was. He really believed in this movie. He fucking was the champion of it. I mean, he made it obviously, but he truly believed. He made a really fucking great horror movie here, and he wanted to remake it so badly. Like, there were so many attempts at it, but he never got the funding for it, which is unfortunate, because I feel like if he did a remake, he probably would have made a great movie again,
I think so. Even part 2 of this movie is fucking dope.
Yeah, part 2, but he doesn't like talking about that.
I mean, hey,
out of respect for Renee.
Out of respect for Renee, we won't. But I'm just saying.
There was an interview I saw, and they brought it up, and he's just like, well, that's not my movie. I don't know. He kind of just brushed it off. So out of respect, yeah, I'm just like, I don't know about part 2, guys. But no, that one is good, too. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so I picked it, I feel like this movie's on there, it's on the top of the list. People love it. People need to admit it more. You don't have to like Chronos and say it's the best. You can say Vacaciones is better, because it's like, it's great. Just be weird, be real. Don't be fake. Don't fall for that intellectual bullshit that people try to put on, or whatever, or AI generate lists that people on fucking Instagram.
Elevated horror.
Yeah, and just shit like that. Like, no, people like having fun with horror movies, and Vacaciones is a fucking fun movie. Like, yeah, have some fun, get scared a little too at the same time.
You mean to tell me that a possessed doll is not scarier than a fucking back room? A yellow room that has walls that you can walk through? Come on.
I like Backrooms for what it was, but I didn't think it was scary. It was just like a weird ass shit movie, but I didn't think it was scary at all. Vacaciones, you compare that with like the other Mexican horror movies that people like to, blast on. Like, nah, that's just Vacaciones is fun. Better writing too, I would say.
Damn.
But I already know people are gonna be like, no.
Yeah, I'm fully expecting the haters to.
It's all right, but it's not the best. Santa Sangre is the best. It's like, shut up. But anyways, that's my pick right there, So rest in peace, Rene the Third. I know he's up in heaven right now. He's like, yes, Armando, yes.
Preach it, baby, preach it.
It is the best horror movie, I swear.
Well, my number one is just a little bit different than yours. I'm going back to the 50s for mine.
All right.
Because when I first saw this movie, admittedly, I hadn't seen it when it came out on DVD, like with the Casa Negra DVDs when they did
yeah.
So I never watched this until it played at the
Academy.
The Academy, for the Mexico Maleficarum. Shout out to Abraham.
Do you remember what it played with? I don't remember what it played with. Was it another classic, maybe?
Oh, fuck, what did it play with?
Because I don't think I went to that one, because I would have remembered.
It
probably was a classic.
I'll have to check. Check it out on Letterboxd for Nathan. Look up. I'll say the title right now, but look it up and then check the dates for what I doubled it with on that day. So yeah, he's our new fact checker. So my number one movie, like I said, I'm going back to the 50s. It's a black and white classic, Misterios De Ultratumba.
Nada. Absolutamente nada. ¿Qué es lo que usted espera que ocurra? Si yo supiera rezar. El doctor Aldama no habrá hecho todo esto solamente para matarme. ¡Aprisa! ¡Aprisa, doctor Aldama! Solo faltan minutos. ¡Sácame de aquí! ¡Sácame de aquí! ¡Doctor Aldama! ¡Sáqueme de aquí! ¡Sáqueme de aquí!
Faltan 10 minutos.
Sí, justamente lo que tardaremos en llegar allá.
Faltan 10 minutos aún, doctor.
Vamos.
No espero más. Maldito traidor. Soy inocente. Soy inocente. Suéltenme. Soy inocente. Inocente. Digo que me suelten. Que soy inocente. Déjame primero llevarme la honra limpia y mátame después si quieres, maldito traidor. ¡Quiero al asesino! ¿Me oyes? ¡Quiero al asesino! ¡Es la última voluntad de un hombre que va a morir! ¡Quiero al asesino! ¡El asesino! ¡El asesino!
Such a good title.
AKA Black Pit of Dr. M, which I fucking hate. I
I
don't
was
like,
going to say, I was like, I don't like it.
I don't like that at all. Even if you were to just do a straight English translation of the movie, I think that would be better, which would be Mysteries from Beyond the Grave. But it's from 1959, directed by Fernando Mendez, written by Ramon Obon. I mean, classic fucking team right there. Alfredo Ripstein, who, of course, you know, you should know the name Ripstein because of Arturo Ripstein.
Yeah.
But to me, this movie is, when I watched it, I was blown away. And that's an understatement. I was like, I walked out of the theater like that's what I fucking love this movie. I can't explain it.
Oh,
but
that's a good one. That's a great one.
The basic premise is that, you know, a doctor is obsessed with what happens after death, and he has a pact with another doctor who died before him. So now he's like, hey, you got to come back and tell me what happens after death.
That's such a unique plot too. It's like, who makes movies like that?
I mean, it could. Yeah, these type of movies are only made in the 50s. You know,
it's such a unusual but fun plot outline.
It played with El Escapulario, which is another fucking banger.
I need to do that.
That's a fucking banger. But this movie, I mean, obviously the themes of this movie are death, the afterlife, reincarnation.
Mm-hmm.
And to be quite honest, who hasn't thought about what happens when we die? I mean, I think that's such a universal question.
Yeah.
And it's not cultural, it's not anything. It's universal. Everybody in the fucking world at one point or another has thought about what happens when we die.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably, especially when I watched it at the time, I was going through some mental health shit. And watching this was just like, holy fuck, dude. Obviously, it's a black and white movie, so the cinematography is fucking amazing. The restoration that Powerhouse did on this, the monochrome just fucking pops, dude. The lighting in this movie is insane.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just, you know, this obsession with death and what happens. I think this movie kind of shows you just the depths of where a person can go mentally with an obsession with this question of what happens after we die. Mm-hmm. Because this doctor is just, you know, he works at a mental institute, you know, like a mental asylum.
Just so much layers of madness. It's like, geez, now you're at the mental hospital too.
And it goes, it goes deeper and deeper. You know, he falls into not necessarily a love triangle. He's obsessed with his partner's daughter. You know, the Dr. Aldama who died before him. But she falls in love with a new doctor who comes in to take over the place that Dr. Aldama left. So there's that, you know, he's like infatuated with her.
See, just you talking about it makes me want to watch it again now.
Yeah,
I'll probably watch it when you leave.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love this shit.
It's just so much goes on in this movie, but it's all good. It's like good shit. It's interesting. It's building up to something really fucking good, and it's great.
And I think to me the biggest part of this movie, like the turning point or the climax of this movie, to be literal or educational, whatever you want to say, whatever the fuck, is when he finally, Dr. Mazzali finally gets his chance. Now he's gonna know what happens when we die, but he's so fucking terrified of it that he no longer wants to die. And to me, that was like I said, it's the climax, it's the breaking point where I think all of us want to know what happens after we die, but I don't think anyone is, sitting in this room right now actually wants to die. Like, I mean, not that people are afraid of dying, but
yeah,
I think when you're confronted with death, your whole perspective changes.
That's true.
And you see it in the movie, because when he dies, he gets reincarnated into a fucking the zombie of one of his assistants who died, before him, but had acid thrown on his face. So now he's reincarnated into this fucking zombie-looking thing.
Yeah.
But it just so happens that before his assistant Elmer died, he confesses to murdering someone else. So now he's reincarnated after death into a body that is now going to die again. So now he's facing death multiple times. I mean, this movie is layered. It's phenomenal. I cannot recommend this movie enough. And I just spoiled it, unfortunately. But
no, you didn't. You left out some other stuff.
Yeah. But I just think that this movie is it's peak cinema, peak horror cinema.
Yeah. And right at the when the beginning of Mexican horror was really starting.
When the boom of Mexican horror was starting, for sure. Yeah. But again, I can't recommend this enough. It's on Blu-ray. I don't know if the box set is still available. I think it's way long out of print.
You can get it individually though. Yeah.
Get this fucking movie. Watch it. You'll question your own questions about death and in confronting death. Because like I said, I think a lot of people want to know what happens when we die.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't want to die, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's like the dichotomy of man, really.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to get too deep. Then we're going to start crying. It's going to turn into a therapy session. But,
no, but
that's my number one.
That's a good pick. No, that's a good pick. Say that's better than what an AI generative thing will fucking give you or whatever bullshit people think is number one, You picked a classic, which has atmosphere, has a good story, a deeper meaning about death and that afterlife. Come on, that's true horror right there.
Truly, it truly is. I mean, the root of horror is like is humans, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can add monsters in there, but at the end of the day, it's humans.
Exactly. So, good choice. I'm proud.
And that wraps it up. I mean, that's the top 10 horror Mexican horror movies according to the Trash-Mex podcast. 5 and 5.
Someone's gonna be like, "No, it's not. You left that movie out." I already know how much.
I welcome it.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments and people start commenting on our shit, man. Get our algorithm going. We want more people to reach it. But let us know. I mean, do you agree with it? Do you hate the list? What did we miss?
Chrono sucks. Top 10. Yeah.
That's one way to get the people talking on commenting on the shit.
Or what's the other one? I can't even think because I just don't even care about those.
Bunch of bullshit ass lists. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Half of the not even half. 90% of the time.
I think I know how to do it. I'll put Macario sucks.
No, hey,
I'll start hitting people.
Macario is a comedy. What are you talking about? It's not on this list.
I forgot. That's right. No, never mind. My bad.
One of the worst takes I've ever seen in my life. But
see, that's what I'm saying. People misunderstood Mexican cinema, and this is why my website exists. The podcast exists. We want you to see the real way to see these movies. Don't just assume shit.
Dive into the movies, man.
Yeah, don't just assume because you saw people laughing at it or because someone that doesn't even watch these movies understand what it is. It's like, no, we're the guys here. We know what the fuck we're watching. I know that sounds cocky, but it's like, no, it's the truth. We know what the fuck we're watching.
Well, and the mission has always been spread these movies to the masses.
Exactly.
I'm not an expert. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not an expert in Mexican movies.
That's the thing. I just know.
I'm merely a fan.
Yeah, I'm merely because I just watched these and I've, took the time to kind of learn about them. I've actually got the knowledge out of it. But there's still so much I need to learn, obviously. But,
and who else is actually talking about only Mexican movies?
Exactly.
You can find podcasts on whatever your services are that you want, and you can find podcasts that are talking about Mexican horror, specifically Mexican horror movies. But I hate to say it, and because I don't want to start drama or beef or anything, but it's always the same generic bullshit.
It's always the same stuff, and then they mix it up with another Latin country, which is fine. But it's like, damn, I want to listen to a podcast about Mexican movies only.
And in English, no.
And nobody has it. And then, then I had to do it.
Yeah. Because there's other creators and podcasts that are talking about Mexican cinema, but definitely Mexican horror movies. But they're in Mexico, they're in Spanish. So a lot of people here probably don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, there's not a lot of English, speakers, speaking language. But yeah. So that's the mission here, man. Thanks for listening, 2 years. And by the way, I'm not the main host anymore. I forgot about that, guys. I forgot to say that. I'm the co-host now. So Joey's the main host now. I told Joey a while back. I was like, Joey, you're doing a good job. You're the one that's putting this podcast ahead. You got to be the main host.
I'll take the duties, man. Thank you. Hopefully people don't turn on the show.
It's gonna be the same shit basically, but you know what I mean. But Joey's been putting in work. He does the behind the scenes.
I do all the editing. I'm the one who, if you like the clips, that's me. I put them all in there.
Yeah, and he has good ideas. So I'm I'm there still. I put in the ideas, but it's like no, Joey's been putting. He's got to get the top credit. This is Joey's podcast.
I'm taking over Armando's Instagram and everything, guys. It's a hostile takeover.
Oh, not my Instagram, but the podcast.
It's a hostile takeover. I'm taking over everything.
No, because my Instagram, I like posting non-Mexican stuff there sometimes.
I'm just playing, guys. Get used to it. I talk a lot of shit.
So now it's Joey, Armando. No, don't say Armando and Joey. But either way, you could say whatever you want. But you know what
I mean, we're both hosting.
Yeah, but we're both still the hosts. I'm still obviously here. Nothing's gonna really change. Other than just Joey getting the top of the top head now.
Now I got to create a tagline to open the show.
What can it be? Sup, guys? Or
what's up, plebes?
Nah, that's not.
That's one thing we haven't done.
No, hell no, that's whack.
But
you know what I mean.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but Joey's Joey's the main guy now.
So hopefully the ratings don't go down to...
No, they won't.
But if you haven't, give us the rating like we're going to say every time.
Plus Joey was the one that wanted a podcast. Anyways, he's the one that was pushing for it. It's like, see, more than ever. It was him all along.
Yeah,
It began with him, not with me.
It's because I wanted to learn more. Yeah. So hopefully everyone else wants to learn more. Exactly. Hopefully you guys are interested in the movies we talk about. Always comment. Tell us if we're doing a good job or a shitty job. Recommend us if you want us to talk about certain things. If you want to learn more about a certain actor, director, call it out, and we'll do deep dives. Yeah. If you have any connects to people you want us to talk to, fucking shoot them. We'll talk to them.
Yeah, we're still working on it. We're gonna get people on it.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
It's a process, but it's gonna be worth the watch.
So as we move into year 3, we'll be expanding a little bit, and hopefully talking about good shit, and getting more people to tune in, and getting more people interested in Mexican movies,
and just the good shit, not the bullshit. Like I said, I'm tired of hearing about the same crap, man.
Hey, maybe next for the 3rd year anniversary, we do a top 10 overrated / worst Mexican movies. That'll really get people talking.
Maybe. I mean, it's your show more now, but maybe.
I know. And like I said, be prepared because I talk a lot of shit.
That'll probably be the episode where I don't appear. That's how much I don't really want to talk about it. They're going to be like, Armando's not in this episode, guys.
It's all jokes.
I'm just joking. No, I actually would be down. Actually, it would be funny to just kind of dive in there. But yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out.
And with that, that's the end of the episode. So rate, comment, subscribe, tell your tias, tell your tios. And
what are we even doing next? I don't even know what the next episode is.
We've tossed a couple different ideas, so we just got to finalize it. But
it's just
the clip will go now.
Yeah, so much is going on. It's like, damn, I didn't even think about the next
Well, that's the thing. We're working on something that's got. We can't say anything, and we won't say anything. But we're working on we got an interview coming up for a special features. We're not gonna spoil it. I promise you. But it's you guys are gonna be.
It's actually
fucking
unexpected.
excited.
Even I was unexpected about that. I was like, oh, here we go.
People are gonna be so excited for when this gets announced, and I don't know when it's gonna be announced or when it's gonna, release or anything. So,
but
lock and key on this one. But we're busy working on that. We were busy. Then talk about 10 movies. Then we got 2 more movies for next month. So
much going on.
We got a lot of shit going on this month. So
we got lives. We have we got things to do.
Exactly.
We're not losers like some people that we know. No, I'm just joking.
I'm not. There's a lot of losers out there.
There's people with too much time on their hands, and I'm like, how do they do all this? Like, I could barely even.
People don't go out, man. People live different lives. People immerse themselves in their rooms, and that's it.
But yeah, I'm just joking. But yeah, anyways. But yeah, we're busy, but we got cool shit coming. Don't worry.
So with that, we'll say peace.
Thank you.
Próximamente estrenaremos
Un destino de sangre, violencia y muerte los une y los separa. Uno es Juan el Taur.
No traigo efectivo, pero ustedes conocen mis propiedades. Ganaré 10 millones de pesos en fichas para empezar, ¿de acuerdo?
El otro es Román, marcado por el destino para una vida violenta. La sola posesión de esta arma transforma a los hombres en bestias. Pero Román fue mucho más lejos en este camino de terror y sangre. Arrastrando consigo a una mujer indefensa. Metralleta infernal. Una aventura filmada al rojo vivo. Metralleta infernal. Cuerno de chivo. La brava tierra del norte se estremece al conjuro de sus disparos. La sana alegría de la frontera será interrumpida y ya nada será igual. Porque se impondrá la ronca voz de Cuerno de chivo, Metralleta infernal.
Con Edgardo Gascón, Luis Aguilar, Claudia Guzmán, Hilda Aguirre. Como Juan el Taur, Julián Garza.
He llorado, rendido, pidiéndote amor.
Y Jesús González Chichás.
Cuando la ley es lenta, él es el remedio. Para tipos como este debería haber una ley especial. Metralleta infernal. Muy pronto en este cine.
Hermano, cayó la ley. Está rodeada tu casa.